Mahalo for investing the next few minutes to learn how your business can save money and increase cash flow with Merchants Against Unfair Interchange's Ratelock Fee Recovery Service, utilizing the expertise at Interchange Brokerage Company. IBC is not a processor, so you will not be required to change your current processor or equipment. It's literally savings without change or effort. First, let's meet Dave Toney, CEO of IBC. His 36 years of experience started with 25 years of working in the credit card processing industry. Dave learned the ins and outs of how processors consistently charge new fees that merchants are not aware of. He felt it was unfair to the unsuspecting merchants, so in 2009, he formed Maui and Ratelock to help recover these hidden fees for merchants. And that's me, Justine McClellan, with Dave during his visit to Hawaii. Assisting Dave is one of his top analysts, Todd Honahan. Todd worked in the credit card industry for 19 years before joining Dave in 2010. Together, he and Dave have 65 years of experience and have built credible relationships with just about every processor and all the card brands. IBC has an A+ rating and accreditation with the Better Business Bureau. They have 0 complaints, and they've been in business for 13 years. IBC leverages interchange rules to reduce merchant processing costs without changing processors or equipment, without making a purchase, and without changing the way you process. We simply review your statements, look for the hidden fees, and if we find any hidden fees, it is done on a 100% contingency basis. If we don't find hidden fees, we don't get paid. And remember, IBC is not a merchant processing company. A lot of merchants feel they know what they're paying for their processing, but how much does it really cost? It is one of the most complex and therefore least addressed sources of increased cost in the credit card processing business. Processors, including banks, have the ability to charge different transaction rates, network fees, switch fees, and a host of different rate structures. Collectively, these are known as interchange fees. Interchange and interchange compliance is modified twice yearly, usually in April and October. Here are examples of what rate and fee change notifications or messaging looks like on a merchant statement. Most merchants don't notice these types of messaging and have no idea that they will be paying more in the future. The top example is notifying the merchant about a network annual fee of $16 effective December 2020. The bottom example is from a local Hawaii bank notifying the merchant that changes in pricing will be effective November 2020 instead of the typical April 2020 due to COVID. And as you can see, it says here, you may see an increase in your pricing. And most definitely, there will be an increase in pricing. At times, we hear people saying that they use a bank to process their cards and that they don't have to worry about hidden fees because they trust their bank. However, all banks use a payment processing service. For example, here in Hawaii, First Hawaiian Bank, back in 2016, they hired Vantiv for their payment processing services. So typically, banks are just go-throughs for these types of services. There are other benefits by partnering with us at IBC. As merchant service consultants, we will help with anything related to credit card processing industry and not just with fees or costs. We do monthly audits to ensure the lowest possible effective rates month over month, and IBC consults with providers on the merchant's behalf without hassles. Here are the easy steps to get started with Ratelock. Number 1, simply provide your current merchant statement to IBC for detailed analysis. Number 2, within 3 to 4 business days, our expert analysts will generate a report and a 3-way review call will be scheduled to discuss findings. Number 3, our Maui agreement and an ACH authorization form will be completed by the merchant. Number 4, the merchant will give IBC experts authority to communicate with their processor. Number 5, the merchant retains 50% of all recovered funds. And number 6, the merchant simply continues to submit their statements to IBC on a monthly basis. That's it. We do all the work while the merchants enjoy their savings. Now here are some of the most frequently asked questions and comments. Why aren't CFOs or accounting aware of hidden fees? Well, there is not a lot of education about fees from the processors to the business owners, and that's on purpose. Processors are unregulated and don't want businesses to understand fees. Well, why isn't the credit card industry regulated? The card associations such as MasterCard and Visa are controlled by a conglomerate of banks that have power and money and would rather not see regulations put in place, so they continue to charge made-up fees. IBC has sent numerous letters to the CFPB to report the amount of hidden fees recovered on a quarterly basis to effect regulation and consumer protection. Needless to say, the banks have kept regulation at bay, so IBC continues to recover fees from merchants. Sounds too good to be true. Well, Ratelock is fairly new to Hawaii, but widely used by many mainland businesses since 2011. And IBC is contingency-based and takes all the risks by putting in hours of detailed analysis of merchant statements and communicating with the processors. If IBC is not able to find any hidden fees, then IBC is not compensated. Will this create more work for my CFO or accounting department? No. As soon as you receive your monthly merchant statement, simply forward a digital copy to IBC. It takes less than a few minutes per month, and that's all that's required. Our bank has been processing our cards for a very long time and is a close associate and friend. Will this negatively affect our relationship? We don't want to rock the boat with our bank. On the contrary, IBC strengthens relationships and creates more harmony between merchants and their banks or processors by working with both to find a common ground for everyone and to keep everyone happy. Processors do not want to lose their customers. It is a highly competitive industry with a high attrition rate. New customer acquisition costs time and money, so it's always in the processor's best interest to work with IBC to keep their customers happy. Here's a case study of a hotel group with 23 locations running $65 million in annual processing volume. IBC was able to reduce their net effective rate down to 1.95% and an average monthly savings of $26,000 and an annual savings of $312,000 a year. That's a 21.1% savings. Here's just an example of a little client sampling that IBC has helped through Ratelock. On the very extreme left, you will see the Hawaii clients that we have, which is Genki Sushi and their 20 locations, Side Street Inn, and Triple F. Thank you again for reviewing Ratelock's contingency-based fee recovery service. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Allow IBC to recover your hard-earned and much-needed money without any risk or effort or change. Every month that passes without utilizing Ratelock means money thrown away. Call me at 808-852-8302 to get you started. Mahalo!